Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Bande Jagadgurum. Om. Adorations to Lord Krishna, the preceptor of the universe, destroyer of the forces of darkness, and bestower of immortality. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 15th chapter, Purushottama Yoga, the yoga of the Supreme Spirit. This chapter is considered the most important chapter. Purushottam. Purusha refers to souls. And the best of souls is Krishna or Brahman. Simple illustration. All reflected suns, they are Purushas. And who is the best of them? The sun. The reflected suns are Purushas, he was. But what is the reality behind all of them? The sun, Brahman. He Bhagavan Uvacha Urdhvamola Mula Madha Shakam Ashvattham Prahurabhyayam Chandansi Yasya Paranani Yastam Veda Savedavit. The Blessed Lord said, the scriptures speak of the imperishable Ashwatha tree with its roots above and branches below. How long will this Ashwatha tree? Ashwatha tree is the world process. Let me read the whole statement. So the scriptures speak of the imperishable Ashwatha tree with its roots above and branches below. The Vedic verses constitute its leaves. He who understands this tree is a knower of the essence of the Vedas. Ashwatha tree is the world process. How long will the world process be? As long as you are ignorant. How long your ignorance be? That you have to decide. So, if you are ignorant, the world process, as long as you talk about the world, it is not real. The reality behind the world is Brahman. In the realm of ignorance, the world will always appear real. And what's the nature of the world? Everything is momentary. Things exist only for a moment. And you can never go back to the previous moment. Ashwatha. Shwa term relates to tomorrow and yesterday. So you are always shifting from today to yesterday to tomorrow. And today is so little that you hardly understand the role of the present. The mind is captured by all these problems that evolved through the past. So yesterday is pressing you, and you are looking for what will be tomorrow. Yesterday is one step, tomorrow another step. And only these two dominate your personality, yesterday and tomorrow. In Sanskrit, called kalakal, kalakal. And in between, chal, 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 chal. Chal is deception. Present seems to be real, but hardly you have any awareness of reality. It slipped. It became past. The roots above means the reality. Absolute reality is Brahman. The Brahman is the root. Through Maya, Brahman spreads branches as well as secondary roots. It's like a special type of peepal tree that you will find the branches bringing out roots, and roots creating another tree eventually. So you don't know where his complete root is. In other words, from Brahman through Maya, soul is trapped by avidya, kama, karma. Avidya is ignorance. Kama is role of desires, subtle desires, vasanas. Karma is practical reality, practical action and its reaction. The entire world process, just to remind you, the basic reality, Brahman being the absolute reality. Maya, Prakriti of Brahman, has three aspects: Maya, Avidya, and Tamasi Prakriti. Sattva dominated Prakriti is Maya. Brahman through Maya plays the role of Ishvara, God, the creator, sustainer, and destroyer. Brahman through avidya manifests through countless souls, jivas. Brahman through tamasi prakriti manifests as the elements, subtle elements, panchabhutas, that go to evolve all the soul needs for its evolution, called padartha. So therefore, the entire fabric of the world process is nothing but Brahman. The entire fabric of your dream experience is nothing but your own consciousness. But while you are dreaming, you go through the illusion of seer, seen, and sight. And you seem to be drifted far away from the reality that all that you are experiencing is consciousness. There is nothing else in your dream. Similarly, there is nothing else but Brahman in your waking state. Because the waking world is a long dream. Soul is trapped by the illusion of seer, seen, and sight. And that illusion is led by ignorance. When ignorance is removed, it's just like awakening. And all these details will go on. But basic point, the same world process, if Vedic knowledge is being assimilated by you, then this entire world is nothing but the Vedas. The whole world is called universe. The English word universe also has a similar implication. Unique verse. It's a verse. Everything is singing. A seed germinates. That's the way it is singing. A germinated movement turns into a tree. A tree movement expresses all its details. Its trunk, its branches, its leaves, its buds, its flowers, fruits, and all the details. So all this is poetry. Poetic work is artistic work. A poetry cannot be translated exactly in one simple mathematical way. It always touches your heart. And how you understand it, different people will have different understanding. But in literature, it's right there. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. That's one of the poetry. All the scriptures are written. Major writings are in verses, shlokas, chandas. So you are being led to be inspired, to look at the world as a source of inspiration, not source of perspiration. Second verse, adhashtordvam prasita sasya shakha guna prabiddha vishaya pravala adhashtam mula nyanusantatani karmanubandhini manushya loke. Nourished by the gunas, the branches of this tree, with sense objects for its buds, spread high and low, and its roots spread below in the world of men, creating the bondage of karma. The verse brings out the role of three gunas, sattva, rajas, tamas, and objects for the senses. First you are facing the world of three gunas. The world of three gunas have presented Vishaya. Vishaya means objects of your pleasure. All objects are constituted of the three gunas. Some have more sattva, some have more rajas, some have more tamas. So all objects are classified under three gunas. Food, for example, you have sattvic food, rajasic food, tamasic food. Similarly, you breathe air. The air can be sattvic, it can be rajasic, pushed by various aroma coming from the forest. Some of them are allergy producing. That's rajasic. And some are poisonous, tamasic. So three gunas can be seen, making the fabric of all your experiences. And so you are seeing the world of three gunas and the role of objects, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. But how do you experience those objects? Through your mind and senses. So mind and senses are also a part of this world tree. And how do the mind and senses operate? Led by vasanas, subtle desires. And how those vasanas exist? Ignorance, avidya. So all that has emanated from avidya, kama, karma, all these are the tree of the world process. And all these have their root in Brahman. So Brahman is the root. And all these are branches and many other ramifications. Sense objects are the tender leaves that deck the branches. Vasanas are the secondary roots that spread below, which keep a person fettered by karma. Narupamasya tatopalabhyate nanto na chadirna cha sampratishta ashvattamenam suvidam moolam asanga shastrena dridena chitva. The real form of this tree is not perceived here, nor does anyone see its beginning, middle, or end. Having forcefully cut off this firmly rooted Ashwatha tree with the weapon of detachment. The real nature of the tree is Brahman. This apparent tree is the work of Maya, illusory nature. This tree is like a snake on the rope. Rope continues to be reality, but the illusion of its appearance as a snake hits you hard, and you continue to be shaken even after you know that it is only a rope, but you have already hit your head. However, it is that state is Jivan Mukti. You know that you have created it, and it is all on the basis of illusion. So you live your life asang, undeterred by various situations that come in your life. Just like when you enter your dream, you don't see the beginning, middle, or end of your dream world. When did it begin? What is the middle of it? And when will it end? Objectively, when you study your dream, it has all the three stages. It began, it came to the middle of it, dream came to maturity, and then gradually faded away. So it has the past, present, and future. But from objectively, when you are studying the dream, out of your dream. Similarly, it is when mind is enlightened, then you study the world, that its beginning was ignorance. Led by ignorance, this whole world is experienced through kama and karma. Kama, subtle desires; karma, karmic fetters. So all these have emanated from Brahman. But while you are trapped by the world process, you have no idea when it began, when will it reach its middle, And when will it end? And this is the project of every personality, every soul, to cut down this illusion of the long dream, the illusion of Ashwatha tree, cut down from its very root. And how can it be cut down? Asanga shastrena, dridhena chitva. The weapon of asanga. Asanga is detachment. First you have to highlight in your personality the quality of viveka and vairagya. Vivek, that this world is illusory. And therefore, vairagya, not to be shaken by pleasure, pain, adversity, prosperity, and changes that occur in your daily life, in your whole personality. They continue, the changes, but not to be affected. But by practice of abhyasa, repeated practice, led by faith, strength. Let me remind you of Samadhi Pad of Raj Yoga Sutras, Sutra number 20 of first chapter of Raj Yoga. Shraddha, Virya, Smriti, Samadhi, Prajna Purvakam, Itaresham. Those who attain enlightenment, they are led by Shraddha, strength of faith. Faith brings about a special strength that's called Virya. When you have that strength, then you have recollection that you are not the body, not the mind. You are Brahman. Holding on to that affirmation requires strength. If that strength is not there, your affirmation becomes very poor. It becomes like simply a breeze that comes and goes. So strength of faith is important to enable your affirmation, positive affirmation, to be successful. And as faith is enhanced and spiritual strength increases within you, now your affirmation becomes inspiring. Each time when you assert, I am not the body, there is a sense of inspiration. But if you don't have the strength of faith behind you, then each time you say, I am not the body, the world is not real. But then your eyes begin to shed tears. This world is not real. All you have worked so hard. I'm just giving a humorous way to explain what happens to your affirmation. Similarly, what happens to your mantra japa if you don't have the strength of faith behind? However, this is not to discourage you from japa. Continue your japa. Even in the beginning may not just be a theoretical, a mental repetition confined only to your words, tongue. But it will capture your inner feeling. Because the japa has been made, created by sages as mantras, as a special key that touches your unconscious. So the real nature of the tree is Brahman. This apparent tree is work of Maya. And I was talking about Shraddha, faith, strength of faith. Now as Virya enhances, strength enhances, and your affirmation is led by inspiration, now it brings about recollection, smriti. In worldly way, whatever you remember, things that happened in the world, past, present, future, these contain the ingredients for your memory. But real memory is going beyond the world of past, present, and future. Real memory is a revelation of who am I. A reflected sun goes through countless experiences and holds on to those memories, speaking allegorically. But the real memory is to understand your reality is the sun. So when the reflected sun comes to discover I am the sun, that is a real memory. Now you are remembering who you are. So the word remembrance in the world of objects, that's totally different. And that operation of memory in the world is completely illusory. But revelation is a revelation of truth. So when you begin to develop that recollection, you are moving towards samadhi, mind that is trapped by past, present, and future. That mind is pursuing the world of practical reality. Samadhi state, you move away from the world of past, present, and future to its real source. Mind withdraws its vrittis, thought waves, and begin to settle in the heart. That's what happens during samadhi. That type of movement of your mind leads you to different stages of samadhi. It is experience of shama, serenity. Serenity opens the door to divine ecstasy. Samadhi experience is ecstatic experience. And as samadhi experience enters, your intellect begins to develop intuitive power, as if your intellect is being sharpened. And thereby you are led to the state of Jivan Mukti, to a state of Sthita Prajna. Asandhya Shastra is sharpening of your intellect on the rock of Viveka, discriminative understanding. The discrimination between self and not self. The mind must understand that there is a blend within you. The real you is the self, confused with not self. The body, mind, intellect, ego, all these are not self. Another word is used, nitya and anitya. You are eternal. Nitya means eternal. all the different levels of your body, personality, anitya. The whole universe is a blend of nitya and anitya. The reality behind the universe is Satchit Ananda. Satchidananda is nitya, eternal. Names and forms and multiplicity of things that have arose is anitya, impermanent. Another term is used, sar and asar. Sar, essential knowledge. Asar, non-essential. So allow your intellect to be sharpened in these three aspects between what is self and what is not self. That's one sharp. Another, nitya and anitya. What is eternal, what is non-eternal. Another, sar and asar. What is essential, what is non-essential. When intellect becomes sharpened, now it begins to remove layers of illusion until the very roots of this tree, that's ignorance, is cut down. Tatah padam padam tat parimargitabhyam yasmin gata na nivartanti bhuyah tameva chadyam purusham prapadye yatah pravritti prasidita purani. One should seek that abode, having attained which one does not return to the world process. That's aspiration has to enter. Just like when you are hungry, there is aspiration, waiting. Each time you smell something coming from the kitchen, it becomes exciting. Here, something is cooking for you. The state of liberation. Anything that brings a little smell of that becomes inspiring. Success in your karma yoga, success in bhakti yoga, raj yoga, jnana yoga. Your practice is always integral. Any success, any step you take towards God realization brings tremendous inspiration in your heart. And therefore, your hunger and thirst becomes enhanced for attaining that state. Put it in simple way, burning aspiration. When will I come to that state that I don't have to come back to the world of cycle of birth and death? When will I be free of avagaman, coming and going, relating to the world process? I adore that primeval supreme being for whom this ancient activity, the world, the tree of the world process has proceeded. From Brahman, this world process has proceeded through Maya by realizing Aham Brahmasmi, by shedding Ahamkar. One does not enter the cycle of birth and death. And your practice is integral yoga in daily life. And that's how you adore Brahman in a profound way. Adoration to Brahman is not just staying in your puja room, but turning the whole world experience as a part of puja, worship, aradhana, invocation. Any duty you are doing in a positive way is a part of that aradhana. 5th verse. Nirmana moha jit sanga dosha adhyatma nitya vinivritta kama dvandvair vimukta sukha dukkha sangyai gacchantya mudha padamabhyayam tat. He who is devoid of pride and delusion, he who has conquered the evil of attachment, who is steady in meditating upon the self, who has turned away from worldly desires and free from pairs of opposites in the form of pleasure and pain. He, not being deluded, reaches the immutable abode, nirmana moha. These are now the very profound points being brought out. Man is pride. Moha, delusion. Led by your egoistic pride, ego gets inflated. Then it operates through deluded love, which is termed as eshanas. 3 types of eshana, 3 types of subtle longing operate through every person. Putreshana, you want to have your lineage. Vitteshana, you want to have a lot of wealth. Lokeshana, you want to have popularity. Going after these is called moha, moha movement. And all souls are trapped by moha movement, were led by eshanas. And along with eshana, pride goes on increasing. Ego gets inflamed, and these 3 symptoms of bhavavyadhi, disease of the world process, continue to develop more and more. But your spiritual project is to negate the inflation of the ego by allowing your ego to surrender and by understanding ego is not you. Constant negation of ahamkar, getting your ego out of your car, aham. That's nirmana movement. And when you move that way, then these 3 eshanas are sublimated. You don't have to go through the trap of putreshana, vitteshana, lokeshana. And if you are reducing your mana moha, your pride and delusion, jit sanga dosha, everything that you handle gets you involved. Just like in the kitchen, everything that you touch, it puts certain glue into your hand. And in order to be clean, you have to wash it in a special way. More artistic way of handling things. Oil your hands and then start touching jackfruits and fruits that are full of glue. You can wash off very easily if you have already oiled your hands. If you have oiled your mind by devotion, day by day, begin your day by oiling your mind. Then whatever you are handling during the day, you will handle it with a detachment. And when it is the works you are taking move away from you, you are not trapped by worry and anxiety about the fruit of karma and many details. So this is called untainted. Jita Sangha Dosha. Otherwise, day by day you are creating Sangha Dosh, a karmic involvement. Adhyatma Nitya, allowing your mind to be deeply involved with aspiration, how to kindle the flame of your aspiration, how to be aware, not just let the time pass without purpose. Adhyatma Nitya is a practice of Jagaran, waking state. The practice of Savadhan. Savadhan means be cautious. So in relation to your mind, you are always cautious. Where is the mind going? And how to put the mind in a positive way. All that becomes deeply involved movement within yourself. Then you are Adhyatma Nitya. Vinivritta Kama. All your desires are going to be sublimated. Nivritta Kama. Every desire, you go after fulfilling it. You fulfill it, but the karma does not become satisfied. It increases. It is avritta kama. Your desire movement comes back again and again. Vinivritta kama, instead of coming back, the desire movement becomes sublimated. What are you really desiring? Your real desire is revelation of who am I. Going after Vishaya Sukh, pleasure of the senses, what you are going after. You are going after Sukh, bliss. Where is that bliss? In the revelation of your very self. So, that type of switching the mind from seeking happiness, from shifting objects, to revelation of happiness by discovering who am I? How am I related to God? Who is me? And bringing in your personality the mantra Upadrashtanumantacha Bhakta Bhokta Maheshwara. God is the overseer behind you. He is encouraging you when you move on a positive path. Anumanta. Upadrashtanumantacha. And all this work you are doing, not for the pleasure of your ego, but for being attuned to the will of God. God is your Bharta. He is all in your personality. And it is He who is enjoying it. Who is the enjoyer? This movement leads you to revelation that you are not the body, mind, intellect. You are Brahman. Dvandvai vimukta. And if you are moving in that path, Dvandva vimukta, always life faces Dvandva, pairs of opposites, pleasure, pain, gain, loss, high and low, forward and backward. These dvandvas should not shake, should not toss you. You can be shaken, but your roots should not be affected. Rather, roots should be strengthened. If you shake a little, led by integral yoga, at root level you are getting stronger and stronger, unshaken. So much so, all shaking experiences become more like fun, a healthy flexibility. By practicing all these, Gachantyam Mudha Padmabhyayam Tat, you do not stay Mudha, dull-wit. You become enlightened. And you are being led to Param Abhyayam, the supremely imperishable state, Brahman. And with this I will conclude for today. Om Ram 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 Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om Namah Shivaya Om. Prayer for shower of Karunamaya grace of God over all of you, with the blessings of Shakti, Bhakti and Mukti. Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam Urvarukum Bandhanan Mrityor Mukshiyama Mritat. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.